Hi everybody! Hi Itamar! We're continuing our series of videos in anticipation of Game of Thrones Season 7. We're predicting today Jon Snow. Jon Snow. And of course, last that we've seen from him, he was crowned King in the North! King in the North! King in the North! So now he got what he always wanted. He's the King in the North. He's accepted. And he is now preparing the North for the war, for the Great War. So he's on the way up.
Yeah, on the other hand, I don't think he ever wanted to be king. Well, yeah, he's king in the north, but he's kind of like a young wolf, sort of.
Youngish.
Yeah, youngish wolf, wartime king. He doesn't really know how to play the game, and in the Game of Thrones, either you win or you die.
Okay.
And he already died once and almost twice, and we saw he's not a player, and he has a lot of problems right now. Being a king is one thing, everyone kneels and calls you my lord and your highness, whatever. But it's also, you need to take care of business. You need to have a tax plan. You need to have like policies. You need to rein in all the factions, different factions, which we know the North has many of those.
And he has someone close to him that has opposite ambitions.
Yeah, zero-sum games ambitions. Littlefinger doesn't see him.
He's an obstacle for him.
Yeah, he's an obstacle, and we already saw the wheels turning in his brain during the coronation. He was like, yeah, okay, you say he's king of the North. We'll see about that.
Right, and he looked at Sansa also.
He looked at Sansa. So we have at least one player, real player, which is Littlefinger, who won't accept Jon as like the end solution, or the final solution.
Right.
Another issue is about his royal legitimacy. He's accepted by the people that crowned him in the hall, but in terms of like his, reputation, I don't know, his lineage, his name recognition, or whatever. Not only is not a real Stark, as in he's a bastard, a Snow. We later found out that he's Lyanna's and Rhaegar child, probably.
So he's not even Ned's son.
So it's not even Ned's son. He's not even a Stark.
And Lyanna the Young, she said that she has one king, and he has Ned's blood. And that's not Jon Snow, but he doesn't have Ned's blood.
No.
He has Lyanna's blood. That's not the same.
That's not the same. Yeah,
it's not the same.
In terms of the laws, it's not the same.
Yeah, in terms of the laws. Okay.
It's pretty close.
Okay, so the way I see it, his big challenge for the season is rallying the North to prepare for the Great War. He has always been about something greater than himself.
Yeah.
And now it seems as if his job is done, he's king in the North, but we suspect that also from the trailer and from the story as we know it, that it's not going to be that easy, and he's going to have trouble rallying everyone and getting everyone to agree. We have different peoples there that see not only the present differently, but they also see the future differently. What happens after we win? He's not good at that.
No, he's
at
not
all.
good.
So,
in this case, he truly is his father's son, and I'm not talking about Rhaegar. So he's definitely lacking any ambition. I mean, what is it with the Starks that they lack this ambition?
right.
At least the Starks we know. They never they never want like a part in the game. They was like they were better than this. And also
Like the Gryffindor house.
But also Jon, in terms of his role in the story, we said in other predictions that it's pretty clear like this Winds of Winter part of the story is like a transition stage between the political aspect of the story, like the Game of Thrones, to the Song of Ice and Fire aspect of the story, which is the Great War to come, the dragons, the ghouls, the lawyers, good versus evil, whatever.
Yeah, prophecies and all that shit.
Yeah, the Chosen One. He's part of the fantasy element. As we see it, his role in the story is very much connected to the fantasy element, to the Song of Ice and Fire.
Why do you think that?
His whole arc was staged in the North, part of it like beyond the wall even.
Right.
And like the discovery of the giants and the White Walkers,
Right,
and
and
visions
the-
of giant spiders
And how do you call it? The wargs.
the wargs. Yeah.
And in the books he's a warg. And another just tiny bit of magical thing that he kind of died and came back to life. That's not very realpolitik, I think.
No, he lost the Game of Thrones. He lost it. Like we saw how he handled himself as a ruler, as the sovereign or whatever, in the wall.
Right. He had some good ideas.
He had the great ideas, that he stole from Stannis, but in the books, and he wanted to do something very revolutionary and very smart.
And he was brave about it.
Very brave, yeah. But politically, he wasn't able to establish some sort of stability and an agreed upon solution. And
Right.
he didn't really talk with the other faction. He was practically blind
Right.
to the other factions.
Right.
Because his theory of mind, I guess, that he puts on other people is like, yeah, I'm lacking ambition. I'm just doing the right thing. So they will.
Right.
They will see that.
Yeah, if I'm doing the right thing, then things will turn out okay because this is what my dad taught me.
I'm honorable, so
Right.
the default position of the other factions and player in the game is honorable, so they will not do the unhonorable, dishonorable,
Dishonorable. Boom.
things. Yeah, and that was his mistake. And we saw later that
Okay,
he failed.
so he failed once. That's maybe he's still learning.
Well, he failed more than once. Don't forget. He was lucky. He failed one time. He failed
Do it.
uniting the Night Watch behind him, and behind his policies. The other time he failed uniting the other faction in the north. Even though
Against the Boltons.
Against the Bolton. Even though he explained to them lists and the Boltons are A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Right.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Still, there's the White Walkers, and they were like, yeah, call
Right.
me later or whatever.
Right,
We
and he
don't-
wasn't very charismatic.
No, it was
Wasn't
like,
very
"Oh,
leadery.
Please, you need to see this is the right thing to do, and not like being smart about it, being like manipulative about it. Like
Right.
sometimes you have to do that.
Right. To
And,
get people to do what is in their best interest. They don't know that this is their best interest. So it's not being evil,
No, it's not.
just being smart.
Yeah, and so we saw he's
So he
not.
failed twice. Maybe he's learning now.
He failed a third time when he actually, he crashed his head against the wall and the Bolton wall, and he was manipulated very easily
Right.
by a
Very
maniac,
predictable.
even though he was warned before that not to trust him and whatever. I will do the right thing. I will do the honorable thing.
My brother is there.
Yeah, my brother is there, and I will feel the rage and the revenge.
Is it really honorable though to not think of thousands of soldiers behind you and think of your brother?
The masculinity, expectations of the Middle Ages. If they kill your brother in front of your man, you have to even die for it. And that
Yes.
was practically what was in his mind, and he was saved by his little sister.
And he was actually he himself was saved by the Almighty God
Yeah.
because he is obviously Azur Ahai of some kind. He can die. We saw it. So he's like the safest character in the show this season.
Yeah.
He cannot die.
If
Technically, physically, he cannot die. If he'll die, he'll come back.
so if we apply the tools of Machiavellian to Jon, he lacks any political skills, but he has abundance of fortuna, of fortune, of good luck. So that what was, basically got him through being
Right.
dead.
Right.
But still,
His good luck is a little bit, it's a little bit dark.
but he will play a role in the fantasy element of the story. And talking about fantasy, when we started the channel, we had a fantasy that people would like it.
We did.
The fantasy came through, and we still have a fantasy, to make this channel worthwhile, and it will be worthwhile to you
Yeah.
if you become a patron. If you become a patron,
Why should they become a patron?
because during this season you will get one extra video every week.
Every week now. It's too
Every
much.
week. No, every week one extra video for only $2. And for $5 patrons, you will get to chat with us every other episode during the season.
Wow,
in
that's
live
nice.
stream. Maybe we'll do like a live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, only for patrons.
And it will also help us a lot.
It will help us a lot, yeah. For $10, you can get your name here, and for $30,
And $30.
a blowjob.
Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness.
We actually also have had some foreshadowing that he cannot win politically. In season 3 or 2, in season 2, Mormont, Commander Mormont of the Night's Watch, he told him, you want to lead someday, learn how to follow. I didn't get the sense that he really learned how to follow. He did his own thing.
Yeah.
He was supposed to kill Ygritte that season. He didn't do it. He didn't follow through.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. And last season, I don't think that this line was there by accident. As Davos and whatchamacallit, Tormund, they were talking, and Davos actually said these words, no, Jon Snow is not a king. It wasn't just a line, just an afterthought that by mistake they put it in. No, they're telling us, the writers, he's not a king.
Yeah.
He's a wartime king, as you're saying,
Yeah.
but he's not like a ruler king. He doesn't want. He wants to rule in order to prepare for the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Does
He's a military commander.
Right. Does he have any inkling of what he wants to do the day after the war? Like, there's no day after for him.
No.
You know who has a lot of thoughts about the day after and thinks only about the day after? That's Littlefinger.
Yeah.
So they are like polar opposites. You said that Jon is part of the fantasy part of the story. Littlefinger is totally immersed in the political part of the story. I'm trying to think how a conversation will go between Jon and Littlefinger as Jon is telling him, we're rallying all the forces to fight magical beings. Littlefinger, do you understand that there are magical beings? It's like he wouldn't be able to comprehend what he's talking about. Like,
Yeah, what about Russia?
for example. And now that Jon and Littlefinger are gonna be at odds in some way, we saw in the trailer another foreshadowing. Jon was grabbing Littlefinger by the neck and pushing him towards the wall.
When you're a celebrity, you can do that.
He didn't even wait. And of course, this is like a callback to Ned doing the same in season 1. And then Littlefinger telling Ned when he betrayed him, I did warn you not to trust me. And of course, Sansa said, only a fool would trust Littlefinger.
Yeah.
He will be a fool of some sort, Jon. He can't help it. He can't become a real player.
Maybe in an ironic way, he will distrust Littlefinger so much that even good advices coming from Littlefinger will be like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's smart.
also, you know, there's
Yeah.
like, Jon is at least, I don't know if it's Kit Harington, but he's looked like a very confused character. I mean, he's not really like, he always like, he's dragged into this situation, at least from last season, you know.
Last season, yeah. He wasn't active last
So
season.
he looks like like a confused character, very emotional, you know, even like strangling Littlefinger, you know.
I wouldn't rush to judge him, Itama, because he died. You never died. Do you know how hard it is to die?
I died many times. No big deal. I'm still here.
Okay. But he can die, and he seems to be, to your point, more a super soldier that the soldiers around him trust and love than a real leader. Even though he has the vision, he doesn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the conclusion of the season. So we're thinking Jon will be able to somehow unite the North and go to the wall without the Vale army, leaving the Vale army and Littlefinger and Sansa behind in Winterfell. And maybe Jon will feel that he made it, that it worked, but he will leave some kind of power vacuum behind.
Yeah.
And then he will go to the wall. And then...
And then let's make a bold prediction.
No, don't say it.
I think the wall will fall.
No, the wall.
I would
No.
like to see the end of the season ends like the wall is, and then it's like,
I don't know why I'm taking it so personally.
then when the mist clears, You see the next king, like zoom. The end. That's a wrap.
Wow.
See you in Westworld.
Motherfuckers. That's gonna be even stronger. That maybe could be the strongest scene, if they play it well, it could be the strongest scene of the show. Because the wall, it's always there. Can't nothing stay the same in Westeros? Everything has to change all the time. Maybe, okay, the wall is one constant. It's always there. It's always there.
It lasted for 8,000 years.
Come on, and now it's gonna fall. It's gonna be what the fuck?
Yeah. So
Bold prediction.
I want to see the wall fall.
I'm conflicted about it. Story-wise, I want to see it fall. Emotionally, I'm not ready for it to fall yet. Still
It's
connected.
a television show. It's a television show.
No, but the wall is real. It's a real wall. He's from Finland. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think the wall will fall? Do you think Jon will fail or will succeed? You should definitely mention in the comments. And we want to thank our patrons from the bottom of our hearts for allowing us to keep doing these videos and thinking of doing them full time for the long haul. This is very possible, and this is only thanks to you gals and guys. So thank you, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time. And don't forget to catch our future Season 7 prediction videos. Bye, everybody!